They're basically saying, as straight, white, cisgender men, we're being discriminated against by this idea of multiple identity, but they're using the idea to actually push back.
The door opened.
Ooh. The ghosts of straight white men. I grew up in a little Midwestern town called Canton, Ohio. It's more or less segregated. We had a black school, a white school, and there came a time that they decided to try to integrate the schools into one new school called McKinley Senior High School. And so it was kind of an experiment. How's this thing gonna work out? I get the lead, and I'm thinking, this is the best thing ever. And the first line is something like, I was born black and female. And some of the students, some of the white students started to complain, and the play has been characterized as being racist because the lead is black. Before we know it, they withdraw the play. We're not gonna do To Be Young, Gifted, and Black. And what we do instead is My Fair Lady, and then I play a maid. That was sort of a wake-up call. When I got to Harvard, there were no black women who taught at Harvard. And I spent 3 years of my law school career really advocating for broadening the curriculum and bringing in scholars of color and bringing in women and demanding that our legal education reflect our lives. When we were advocating for affirmative action, one of the responses to that was to recruit women and to look for men of color. And the logic was, if an employer does well by black people, but it's just men, and an employer does okay by women, but it's just white women, then black women don't have anything to complain about, right? My view was the law was discriminating against black women by not attending to some of the specific ways they experienced discrimination. So I had to build off of what people understood discrimination to be and allowing them to see that there were other forms of discrimination that compounded that. Intersectionality is the way that discrimination and exclusion is cumulative, it's compounded, rather than just a single issue or single identity problem. Black women, because they were both women and blacks, it made them vulnerable to both race and gender forms of exclusion. Like, why weren't you thinking about women of color? Intersectionality both describes things that happen, but it also encourages advocates to think about their advocacy, so it's prescriptive as well as descriptive. I think a lot of women of color now are tired of trickle-down racial justice. They're tired of trickle-down gender justice. They're tired of trickle-down queer justice. They're saying we don't have to be an afterthought to any of these other frames. We can frame social justice around where we sit right here, right now.